Saladin, the man who defeated the Crusaders and reclaimed Jerusalem. In the 12th century, one city stood at the center of the world. A city sacred to Christians, Muslims, and Jews. A city fought over for generations. Jerusalem. For nearly 90 years, it remained under Crusader control. Many believed it would never be taken back. Then, from the deserts of the Middle East, a remarkable leader emerged. He was not born a king. He did not inherit a vast empire. And at first, no one expected him to change history. Yet within a few decades, he would unite rival nations, defeat one of the most powerful armies of his time, and recapture Jerusalem. His name was Saladin. To Muslims, he became a hero. To Christians, he became a respected adversary. To history, he became a legend. This is the story of the warrior who changed the course of the Crusades. This is the story of Saladin.
A world in chaos. To understand Saladin's story, we must first understand the world he inherited. The Middle East of the 12th century was deeply divided. Powerful rulers competed against one another. Cities formed fragile alliances. Old rivalries fueled endless conflicts. Meanwhile, the Crusader states established by European knights controlled strategic territories along the eastern Mediterranean coast. At the center of everything stood Jerusalem. For decades, the city had remained under Crusader rule. Many leaders dreamed of changing that. Few had the power to do so. And none had yet succeeded. It was into this fractured and dangerous world that Saladin would rise. Not as a king. Not as a prince. But as a man with an extraordinary vision. The unexpected leader. Saladin was born in 1137 in Tikrit, in present-day Iraq. Unlike many famous conquerors, he did not spend his youth seeking military glory. He preferred books to battlefields. He studied religion, history, law, and government. No one looked at the young Saladin and predicted he would become one of history's greatest commanders. Yet fate had other plans. As a young man, he entered military service under his uncle, a respected general named Shirkuh. This decision would change everything. Campaign after campaign introduced Saladin to the realities of power. He observed leaders. He learned strategy. He studied diplomacy. Most importantly, he learned patience. Egypt, the turning point. In the 1160s, Egypt became the center of a dangerous political struggle. Several powerful forces wanted control of the region. Whoever controlled Egypt controlled immense wealth and strategic influence. Saladin arrived as part of a military expedition. At first, few paid attention to him. He was young, relatively unknown, and overshadowed by more experienced commanders. But circumstances changed rapidly. After a series of political events and military victories, Saladin unexpectedly found himself in a position of authority. Then came the moment that transformed his life. He became the ruler of Egypt. Many doubted him. Many expected him to fail. Instead, he surprised everyone. He stabilized the country, strengthened its economy, improved its defenses, and began preparing for a much larger mission. The unification of the Muslim world. Building an empire. Conquering territory is difficult. Uniting divided peoples is even harder. For years, Saladin worked to bring rival regions together. Some leaders willingly joined him. Others resisted. Several launched wars against him. Again and again, Saladin faced challenges that could have destroyed his ambitions. Yet he remained focused. His goal extended beyond personal power. He believed the divided states of the region would never survive unless they stood together. Slowly, city by city and province by province, his influence expanded. By the early 1180s, he controlled a vast territory stretching across Egypt, Syria, and beyond. For the first time in generations, much of the region was united under a single leader. The balance of power was shifting. And everyone knew it. The road to war. Peace was fragile. One incident after another pushed both sides closer to conflict. Among the Crusader nobles, one man became notorious for his aggressive actions. Reynold of Chatillon. He repeatedly attacked caravans and violated agreements. His actions threatened regional stability. For Saladin, these attacks represented more than simple provocations. They threatened everything he had worked to build. Diplomatic solutions became increasingly difficult. War now seemed inevitable. Across the region, armies mobilized. Weapons were forged. Fortresses prepared for siege. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the future of Jerusalem. Hattin, the masterpiece. The summer of 1187 was brutally hot. Saladin knew the terrain. He knew the climate. And most importantly, he knew his enemy. The Crusader army marched toward him. Confident. Determined. Ready for battle. But Saladin had already begun winning before the fighting even started. He maneuvered his opponents into an area with limited water. Under the relentless heat, exhaustion spread through the Crusader ranks. Thirst weakened discipline. Fatigue reduced effectiveness. Then Saladin attacked. What followed became one of the most decisive victories in medieval history. The Crusader army collapsed. Its leadership was shattered. Its military strength was broken. The path to Jerusalem was finally open. Everything Saladin had worked toward for decades was now within reach. Jerusalem. The city stood before him. Jerusalem. A place whose importance extended far beyond politics. The world watched. Would the city be destroyed? Would revenge dominate the moment? Would history repeat itself? Many expected bloodshed. Instead, Saladin chose restraint. Negotiations were conducted. Lives were spared. Holy sites were protected. The transfer of power occurred with far less violence than many had feared. This decision would become one of the defining moments of his legacy. Military victories made him famous. His conduct after victory made him respected. Even many of his enemies acknowledged his character. And that respect would endure for centuries. Richard the Lionheart. The fall of Jerusalem shocked Europe. A new crusade was launched. Its most famous leader was King Richard I of England. Known to history as Richard the Lionheart. Soon, two of the medieval world's most celebrated leaders found themselves locked in a struggle for the future of the Holy Land. Both men were exceptional commanders. Both inspired fierce loyalty. Both earned the admiration of friend and foe alike. Their campaign became legendary. Although neither achieved total victory, their mutual respect became one of the most famous stories of the Crusades. Centuries later, historians still discuss the rivalry between Saladin and Richard as one of history's greatest contests between two military giants. The measure of greatness. In 1193, Saladin died in Damascus. He had spent decades fighting wars, building alliances, governing territories, and pursuing a vision larger than himself. But what happened after his death surprised many. Despite ruling vast lands, he left behind relatively little personal wealth. Much of what he possessed had been spent helping others, supporting soldiers, and maintaining his state. His true legacy was never measured in gold. It was measured in respect. More than 800 years later, Saladin remains one of the most admired figures of the medieval world. Not only because he won battles. Not only because he recaptured Jerusalem. But because he demonstrated that strength and mercy could exist together. Many conquerors are remembered. Few are respected. Even fewer are admired by both sides of a conflict. That is why the name Saladin still echoes through history. Not simply as a warrior, but as a legend.